Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We have been live. I'm with Steph the Alter Nerd, and oh my goodness, do we got some big breaking royal news that we got to address with you all. We did it first over in Popcorn Palace. I gave you my initial reaction, but I want to get in more depth. And we have Meghan and Harry's now response to all the backlash. Whoo! This is unreal. And thanks to all the support that's coming in. We'll read them all in a minute. Please keep it coming. Thank you, Average Supreme, for your 10th super chat. Amazing. And Steven, thank you guys. Keep the support coming. Team Sugar hates when you support. So keep it coming. We'll get to all your chats in a minute, but I want to get to this topic, Steph, because Harry and Meghan have hit back. Now, for those of you just tuning in and missed maybe our first report, it's important we start here because this is now Sussex.com. If you go to any of their websites, you will now go to Sussex.com, which has the royal... Look at this. The UK, what is this called?
This is actually Meghan Markle's royal coat of arms.
Oh, it's not the UK one. That what I read was incorrect.
Yes, this is.
She made her own coat of arms.
Coat of arms.
That's even more funny.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It gets better, Andy. It gets better. This is all about Meghan.
She made her own coat of arms. Website. No way.
This website is a PR. All for Megxie. Yes.
Well, I mean, the UK coat of arms was even more disrespectful to me. So, all right, so it's not the I corrected. It's not the UK coat of arms here. I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the coat of arms stuff. But you can confirm this is not the UK coat of arms. It's a made-up Meghan Markle coat of arms.
It's a Megxie coat of arms. It's an official royal coat of arms for Megxie. Yes. Yeah. And when you look at the biography, her biography on this website is longer than Hazard's by about a couple of 100 words. This website is all about Megxie. Hazard's just a side piece, dudes. You've got no idea how much this is.
Oh, there's so much to unpack. There's so much to unpack. And we're going to unpack it. This is what I was looking for, this live because we're unpacking it with you guys live. But here's the website now. Sussex.com has now become the brand. And let's be clear, Steph. They have a lot of charitable organizations through Archewell, right? It's very confusing what their charity actually is. It blends with Archewell Productions, which is actually a for-profit. So it's like this for and not profit stuff that's always confusing to me of which money goes to charity and which money actually fuels Harry and Meghan's, stuff. But let's be clear, Sussex.com is not a charity. Sussex.com is a for-money website for their brand. This is now their brand, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Steph, they can now profit off of Sussex.com and anything that's on here, correct?
But they shouldn't be doing.
Well, right. We're going to get there. But just to confirm for me, now they are monetizing and commercializing the Sussex, which is a royal term, correct? Why is that bad?
As far as I'm concerned, they are, because on the website, it links to Archewell Productions, which is a proper commercial for-profit company that they've got. Reason why this is bad is because as part of the Sandringham Agreement, otherwise known as the Megxit Agreement, they were told that they weren't able to profit off of their titles whatsoever. So their HRHs, His and Her Royal Highnesses, they can't use them for commercialization. They couldn't also use the Sussex for commercialization. Royal Sussex Royal that they had, they weren't allowed to use that for commercialization purposes anymore. Similar here, they're using the Sussex name now, as far as I'm concerned, for commercialization, because on this website, they're including Archewell Productions, which is a commercial for profit company that they've got. They're going all in now. And as far as I'm concerned, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, they are taking full advantage of the timing of all of this whilst King Charles is going through cancer, whilst Princess Catherine is recovering from abdominal surgery, and whilst also the Duchess of York is also going through her own cancer battle as well, Sarah Ferguson. The royal family have got a lot on their hands at the moment, health-wise. To me, the timing of this is extremely sus. Andy, I can't hear you, mate.
Oh, sorry, I was laughing because you said sus for Sussex. Yes, absolutely sus.
You get what
yes, absolutely sus. My kids love sus. They sus or bus is always what we're doing. It's bussin' or suspect. But yes, so thank you for clarifying why this is so awful, because they're monetizing these royal terms, which they're not supposed to be doing. And now, all right, so we're going to get to the bios and everything else, but this is the frustration, the royal crest, the royal titles, all of it, monetizing it, putting their brands there. Well, it's obviously created quite a fury. And now they're fighting back. They've been criticized for this website and their new titles, and they are defending their right to use them. Harry and Meghan's new website has been defended by their team, who claim they have every right to use the Sussex title as it's their name. The fresh row in the royal family comes as the new website launched, operated by the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, is a one-stop shop for all their activities. Whilst the couple have had websites before, this time it's the use of their Sussex titles that is thought to be the cause of concern. Previous Sussex Royal was launched after they stepped back from the royal family when they moved, and they set up their Archewell Foundation, which now sits under the new website. Source close to the couple has hit back at the criticism for the new website, as told to Mail Online. Prince Harry and Meghan are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That is a fact. It's their surname and family name. So, Steph, I want you to respond to that, because technically it's true, right? The royal family has not ripped their titles out. There's ethical questions and things of whether this is right or wrong from that standpoint. But be honest, please, and correct me if I'm wrong. It is currently their name, is it not? What is your response to that?
It is currently their name. However, I've got two responses to that. The first one I've already mentioned is, as part of the Sandringham Agreement, otherwise known as the Megxit Agreement, it was agreed that they were not to monetize off of their titles whatsoever, with the HRH titles, but also the Sussex as well. That's why they can't use Sussex Royal anymore, or anything really to do with Sussex when it comes to commercialization. The second thing that I would hit back on is that they go, where the royal family, it was so bad being in the royal family, this, that, and the other. They flung so much shiz at the royal family, saying it's bad, it's a bad institution, they've got racism. Oh, sorry, no, unconscious biasness when it comes to different races, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, if the royal family are so evil and so bad, then why associate yourselves with them using your titles? Give the titles up. If you think that they're a bad institution, you don't want anything to do with them, give the titles up.
You'd think, but they can't. They are parasites to the royal family.
There you go.
And they need to exploit it. And it's interesting because, yeah, I mean, the comment here is they're going to have real trouble with the use of Sussex. It's the royal title. And if there's any hint of commercialism about this, it'll be shut down. It's staggering. They cannot see how gauche this is. And that's the truth, because they're walking a very fine line now, Steph, because they're defining themselves. This is our name. This is our new website. But you are making money off of your name and your website. So at what point does it become commercializing the Sussex brand, right? The Duke and Duchess. If the rule was that they couldn't monetize it, I'd argue they already are. This site is a brand that they're now creating of their identity. And yes, to any then money that they make for themselves is off the back of now this website and this brand. So I think they are drooling all over this line, right? They're tripping all over it. And this is only going to get more messy.
But to me, they've already gone over it. Okay. So two things to distinguish here. Firstly, the inclusion of Archewell Productions on this website cannot be understated. By including that, this website's commercialized, because that is a for-profit commercialized company that they've got. End of, simple as. They are now commercializing their titles as far as I'm concerned. Secondly, in terms of their response, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex isn't technically a name. It's actually a title. Their last name is Mountbatten Windsor, if you really, really want to get technical into it. I know behind the scenes, Andy and I have talked about royal last names, and it can be a little bit confusing for those that haven't grown up in, you know, the royal culture and the English culture. But yeah, their names, technically, the last names is Mountbatten Windsor. Duke and Duchess of Sussex ain't a name. It's a title. It's as simple as that. So their response technically, actually, logically does not make sense and is absolutely incorrect as far as I'm concerned. The second thing as well that you also have to point out is Megxit. She dropped her last name of Markle. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting. So for me,
she's like Madonna, right? She's dropped it. No more Markle. Yeah, we're going to get there. Sorry, I was muted. We're going to get there in a second. Keep going.
Yeah. So for me, it's a case of like she's completely disowned her family by dropping the name of Markle. And I know this personally, guys, because I'm not going to go into too much detail, but my last name wasn't my last name at birth. I changed it to my mum's maiden name. And that's that. So I know the importance and the seriousness of dropping your last name at birth, right? This is what Megsy's done. That's quite serious. And it's like the final nail in the coffin, I think, between her and the Markle family.
Let's go through this. I want to go through his bios for the main video, and we're going to go more, but let's start looking at what the site is entailing, because it is important to show you're right. When you go here to more, this is the Sussex brand, which isn't supposed to monetize, but look, Archwell Foundation, which is questionable, but the Productions is not a charity. That is full profit business.
Yeah.
So this Sussex brand is now leaning towards commercialization. They've already crossed the line. I'm with you. So now we're going to learn about Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, from the office of Prince Harry and Meghan. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is a humanitarian, military veteran, mental health advocate, environmental campaigner. He has dedicated his adult life to advancing causes that he is passionate about and that advance permanent change for people and places. He served for 10 years in the British Armed Forces, including 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan as a forward air controller and an Apache helicopter pilot. After completing his military service, the Duke founded the Invictus Games Foundation, platform for wounded, injured, and sick service personnel to engage in sport to aid their rehabilitation. The international event is a globally celebrated display of resilience, community, and athleticism that was won acclaim for its impact in celebrating those that serve. He really likes to own that one, doesn't he? Prince Harry is also founder and patron of a number of global charities and organizations, including Travelist, Santabal, Wellchild, and sits on the board of the African Parks, where we know all that controversy that currently sits there, right, Steph?
Why include that? Why? Step off from the board, Hazard. Delete that. What the hell?
In 2021, he was named Chief Impact Officer at Better Up, a world-class coaching platform that helps people everywhere achieve their own peak mental fitness. That same year, he served as the Aspen Institute Commission on Information Disorder, which brought together critical voices across the public, private, and civil society landscape to respond. Everything is here. They're putting it all in one place. About disinformation, he co-founded the Archwell Foundation alongside his wife, which no one understands what it actually does, his wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, to serve communities in need. At the Archwell Foundation, the Duke and Duchess are committed to their mission: show up, do good. Still, every time I see it, I laugh. Show up, do good. They hold the value that charitable work should not simply be a handout, but rather a hand held. Oh, what a crock of shit. Cup also created Archwell Productions to produce content programming that informs, elevates, and inspires. You know, like the royal documentary that inspired and elevated as they whined and complained. The Duke is the New York Times bestselling author of Spare, a memoir of his life told with compassion, vulnerability, and unflinching honesty. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, it's the first time reading it. Spare was the publishing industry's fastest selling nonfiction book, selling more than 1.4 million copies on its first day of publication. Prince Harry lives in California with his wife and their 2 children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. And we can learn more about all the things he just listed, which you could have clicked also. But again, a lot of money to be made here. Thoughts on that, Steph? Any corrections or comments you want to make on Harry's bio before we get to Meghan's bio?
Not even worth the toilet paper I'll wipe my backside with. What the hell is all this? I mean, you know, you scroll down and you think, you know, he's talking about Better Up, for example. Yeah. Chief Impact Officer at Better Up, even though everyone that's talked has no idea what he actually does there, think he's heavily overpaid. And Better Up, that's actually laid off hundreds of people because they're losing money. And what? Helping people everywhere achieve their own peak mental fitness? That's actually technically incorrect, because Better Up, when you go on their website, says that they work with companies to achieve peak mental fitness for their workers. So it's not actually clarifying there what Better Up does. It's trying to
Dude,
make out Better Up does more than what
none
it
of these
actually does.
none of these organizations make sense, Steph. I have no clue what any of them do, including Archewell. It's all just a mess.
Yeah. And then, I mean, never mind Travelist. Travelist is supposed to be like, oh, yeah, traveling ethically, right? Fucking Prince Azza the other day freaking gets a private jet to go to UK to visit his father for like 30, 45 minutes and then bog off back to California on a private jet. You think?
Well, it's for everybody but him. He's a prince, mind you.
Ben. Freaking Ben Azza. Seriously. Get a captain.
Everybody else needs to be
Shove up your backside, you hypocritical piece of shiz.
He's so hypocritical. Exactly. Everyone else travel ethically except for me. And
yeah, right?
It's unreal. All right, now let's
be a disgrace and be intimately violent and beat up people in African parks, except for me. We're Gooch. What the hell? He's an idiot.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Steph? Now let's compare. Let's compare Prince Harry with Meghan. She's so annoyed she can't be Princess Meghan. She's just so mad. She can't be Princess Meghan. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex.
Oh, she's technically a princess, Andy, but you've got to call her Princess Henry. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it is. Oh my God, this one's so much longer. It's so much longer. All right, here we go. Ready for it? Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is a feminist and champion of human rights and gender equality, unless you're a female that works for her, and then you'll get paid less than the men.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Her lifelong advocacy for women and girls remains a constant thread in her humanitarian and business ventures. She has been named one of the most influential women in the world in rankings, including Time Magazine's most influential people, the Financial Times 25 most influential women, Variety Power of Women, and British Vogue's Vogue 25. Wow, she's so powerful and influential, Steph. Her advocacy work on resilience, equality, and compassion through action has been recognized alongside that of her husband, Prince Harry, with the NAACP President's Award, as well as the Robert F. Kennedy Ripple of Hope Award.
Side note, rumored she bought those awards. Just saying. Freaking recognize my ass.
Everything is also because of her husband, Prince Harry. Born and raised in Southern California, Meghan attended Los Angeles-based all-girls Catholic school. Is that the one her dad paid for? Immaculate
yeah. And the university, which has no mention of a family at all.
Which she continues to support as an alumni before moving to Chicago to attend Northwestern, which again, I think her father paid for. While there, she double majored in theater and international relations and went on to intern at the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina, as well as to study abroad in Madrid, Spain. Must have been nice to be rich.
The U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires has actually been debunked. Yeah, it's amazing how much she's still trying to push that. That is insane.
The yacht days aren't mentioned here for some reason. Alleged yacht days.
No.
Can you imagine? We need to write an honest bio, Steph. After graduation, Meghan turned her focus to the entertainment industry. Of course, because, that's going to create real change, Meghan being a Deal or No Deal suit model. I wonder, you think they're going to mention Deal or No Deal? Let's see. Later, securing a lead role in the hit series Suits. Now she's owning Suits, which she starred in for 7 seasons. Let me pause here. Forever, I feel like that show seemed like a dumb show that she would never embrace, Steph. But now that Netflix made it a hit, and it's a big hit, notice how she's now put Suits in the resume, because now it's okay. Now it's a glorified hit show that everyone loves. So yeah, I was in that show. She totally out of that. She starred in for 7 seasons. She co-starred. She did not star in, from everything I've read. She was a co-star, not a star.
She was a side character.
Between filming, no mention of Deal or No Deal modeling. Surprise, surprise. Which is where her claim to fame was actually from.
Or any of the Hallmark movies that she was in.
Or all the WB shows she made out with and was making out with dudes in cars. Yeah, all that stuff has been erased from the history of Meghan Markle, because Markle doesn't exist. It must have gone with the last name. Between filming, Meghan traveled to Rwanda, India, and other countries to support humanitarian missions. She served in key roles such as UN Women's Advocate for Women's Political Participation. What the fuck is the UN Women's Advocate for Women's Political Participation? Okay. And leadership, a World Vision Global Ambassador and a leading counselor to One Young World. God, the buzzwords and bullshit in here. Meghan also on travel to support the military community on a USO tour, visiting 6 military bases in 7 days, including Bahram. She's trying to make herself look like a global, politician because she did a couple events she traveled to. In 2018, Meghan married Prince Harry, becoming the Duchess of Sussex. She has written for a number of publications and created the lifestyle website The Tig. Ooh, she's bringing back The Tig. The Duchess of Sussex guest-edited British Vogue in July 2019, which was the fastest-selling copy in the magazine's history. Was that true? Wow. Oh, wow.
True. However, a little bit of a side note, Edward Enninful, who was the editor at the time of British Vogue, he has finished at that publication now. His final edition of British Vogue has just come out, and it's got like 40 models, 40 women on there. Not one of them has got Megsy in. And at the time, and I did a video on this on my channel, so go check it out, guys. At the time when she guest edited British Vogue, they were best mates. 2 peas in a pod. They were talking about each other. It was all lovey-dovey, blah, blah, blah. But for his final edition, and he has the final say of who goes on the cover, who's in the edition, all that lot. Not once is there a Megsy. Not once. So she can say that she guest edited British Vogue and all she wants, but British Vogue and Edward Enninful, to my knowledge, has completely disowned her at this point.
Well, everybody has.
It's about her.
Nobody sticks around to help them further. It's crazy. Now, here we go. She and Prince Harry founded the Archwell Foundation in 2020 to support communities in need in both moments of crisis as well as for long-term aid. The Archwell Foundation, they are committed to their mission, show up, do good. They hold the value that charitable work should not simply be a handout, but rather a handheld, a phrase Meghan first adopted in supporting UK charity SmartWorks, in which she is a patron that supports women to enter the workforce. Meghan and her husband also founded and oversee production company, Archwell Productions, which has lost a lot of money. 2022, Meghan launched Archetypes, a record-breaking podcast exploring the labels that hold women back. Archetypes debuted at #1, curiosity factor. Topped the charts as the #1 podcast in 47 countries. After its first season, it was awarded the People's Choice Award in the podcast category. Where? What? Was it really? As well as the Gracie Award for Best Podcast. She had to have paid for those.
But doesn't say that it was cancelled after the first season.
Yeah, exactly. No one. They decided it was so unpopular as it continued that they decided to let them go. She is a New York Times best-selling author. She is publishing the children's book, The Bench. How can I forget The Bench? And Together, Our Community Kitchen, a collaborative public. That's how easy it is to become a New York Times best-selling author. It means nothing these days. Hub Community Kitchen, UK, where she displaced after the graduate. My God, me. The book debuted at #1. Proceeds going to the Hub Kitchen. Meghan is a major advocate for mental health, family care, and gender equality. Again, unless you work for her and you're a woman, then you won't get paid as much as the men. The Duchess hopes to be a cultural catalyst for positive change, reflecting her core belief that representation matters and that communities can be enhanced through learning, healing, and inspirational support. Meghan lives in California with her husband and their children, Princess Lilibet and Prince Archie. What would be so fascinating would be to watch them write this, because there were many drafts. Add this, add that, put this in there. Oh, this doesn't sound smart enough. This is all marketing, and twisting, and everybody pads a resume, Steph. But my goodness, this is just so hard to read as she just pumps herself up. Who is she trying to sell? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who is this for? Like, why is this even here? Do you think Taylor Swift has a website like this? Do you think The Rock has a website like this? Does Obama have a website like this? Does any actual person that matters actually put together a website like this to sell themselves? Because I would argue no. What do you think about all this?
This, I think, has an underlying sinister connotation to it all. there have been rumors that are not really going away that Megxie wants to get into politics. She wants to get into American politics. Now, think about it. The office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the office of, right? It's very similar to the executive office of the President of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm. It's like what Trump's doing with his headers, the President of the United States.
Correct.
Good marketer. Good. Not trying to get into politics here, guys, but it's smart marketing.
Correct. So for me, this is a rebranding for sure, but it's a rebranding that is extremely sinister. I think this is a rebranding to get into politics. And this is just the first step of many for her to get into politics. It's as simple as that. Her information is longer than his. It's pretty much her coat of arms, not his. It's all about her, less about him. It's extremely sinister. And so, yeah, it looks like for me, Megxie is now trying to use her titles, her royal connections to try and go into politics. The only thing is, my understanding is that with American politics, to become, let's say, the president, she would have to renounce the titles then at that point. But I think she would gladly at that stage, because then she'd be leader of the free world. And
yeah,
have
she'd
all
be
the world at that point, and we don't need that or want that, guys. So
previously known as the Duchess. She'd find ways to still fit those titles in, of course. The woman previously known as the Duchess of Sussex. She's running for, but you're right, because it's like, when I look at this, what are they trying to sell? Like, this is a hard sell, guys. It is a hard sell. The only time I do something like this, Steph, is when I'm out of work and I need to make a resume. I gotta put all my accomplishments on a piece of page. Like, really, guys, be honest, right? This is the only time you put out a resume this desperate is when you need work. Yeah. If you are the level that they claim to be, you don't need to write it yourself. Let's really keep it honest, right, Steph? To create this website, to create the brand, this shows a level of desperation and need for work that I have yet to see from them. Like, this doesn't come across as, oh, wow, good for you guys. This comes across as exactly what you said, a rebrand, political, whatever. They're trying to sell to people. And to me, more important than ever that we keep reporting and reacting, because they hate that we are calling the truth. This is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. What they're putting here is all bullshit. What have you actually done? Show up, do good? What the hell does that even mean? Where's your money going? And then for you to play like you're royals, but then you're not royals. It's like Angela Levin's spot on. Full of exaggeration and pomposity and a spiteful attack on the real royals who they must do something. Please, that's what I want to talk about further. We're not done talking about this. Make sure you've subscribed, though, to Steph the Alter Nerd, Popcorn Palace, Popcorn Planet. I got so much more to rant about, and we're gonna. So if you haven't become a Patreon, what are you waiting for? Become a Patreon. You can go to our link tree. It's pinned everywhere. Click on over there. Become a Patreon member. And yeah, you'll be able to join up. You can join for free. Paid members, you're going to get lots of perks. They're coming. We're going to do our live weekly show there. So much coming in that you're not going to miss. And thank you to everybody who supported. You are keeping this channel going. So please become a Patreon today. Support us all. And that's the best place you can do it. Breaking news as we were taping. Oh my gosh, new info came in. Meghan Markle is launching a new podcast. Oh my gosh, I am as shook as you. It's about to start. Our premiere is starting over on Popcorn Palace. We're going to send all you guys over there. You're not going to miss it. Make sure to subscribe over on Popcorn Palace, over here at Popcorn Planet, and Steph the Alter Nerd. Hit her up. Subscribe. We're so close to 100K. But this news just broke, and it's wild. If you want to see our reaction to it, head on over there to Palace now. It's premiering live, but it'll be playing there. I'll put it at the end here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. Love all you live viewers. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Steph's analysis later, and so much here in our Popcorn universe. And good luck, Megxie.